Alright guys, today's lesson is on how to put the new Outlander 1000 and Renegade 1000 and Commander torsion springs, the torsion spring back in one of these new machines. My last video I was just doing got cut off, so I didn't get to fully explain how this thing works. You've got a helix, just like in every other Can-am. Only this helix has a hole milled in the base of it. This spring has a pin at top and bottom. Once you get this spring in the hole, this spring is fixed. It can't twist. The back of the secondary clutch, as you can see right there, also has a hole in it. This spring will line up in that hole, and once that lines up, this guy is fixed together. It's a torsional spring, meaning as the clutch opens, not only does it compress, but as the clutch winds down this ramp angle, it's twisting the spring, putting a lot more pressure on it and making it snap back even faster. If you'll notice with this torsion spring setup, you can see that the helix is almost in perfect alignment with this top of this cog in the back of the secondary. So this guy, if you just push straight on, will not go on straight. You've actually got to twist this clutch as you're installing it to get the helix to line up with the void in the back of the clutch, which is what I'm going to show you how to do. First thing you'll need to do is line your teeth up. I put the machine in reverse. Once you put it reverse, that allows the helix to stay still. Now it won't move. I mean, because the transmission shaft is locked in gear, so you would have to actually move the bike in order for it to turn. Well, what I'll do is I'll put the spring in, I'll put it all together, I'll line these pins up, see all my pins lined up. Typically I would leave the ear at 12 o'clock, I would have my void in the clutch and line it at 12 o'clock and push it straight together. In this setup we won't be able to do just that. It'll be very similar, but with the exception when you got to twist the spring. Now once you get the holes lined up, you can confirm that the secondary and the helix will not turn independently of each other. It means that both holes are lined up. Everything's pinned together like it should be. One thing that I always recommend, I myself use red Loctite on all of the Can-am clutch bolts. Some people would prefer blue. I'm not going to tell you which one you've got to use. I myself prefer the red. I line my helix up. I still have my ear of the helix at 12 o'clock. I've got my clutch to where it is lined up. It's not quite at 12 o'clock, but it's rather close. You've got to actually push in on the clutch, which I'll show you here. You push in on the clutch, and then you twist it. It's not going to be easy, but you've got to twist it. And if you reach your finger back there, you can feel the helix right now is definitely lined up the way it's supposed to be. You can run your fingers in the void and kind of locate the helix ear. Now that I've got it twisted, I can then push it on all the way. And then tighten your bolt up. And you want to hold the clutch still. Don't let it go, because as soon as you let it go, it's going to unwind and take that tension out. Go on and tighten your bolt up just a little. While you're still holding the clutch closed, reach around and grab your spreader tool. Now you remember, as long as the inside half of the clutch does open, that means the clutch and the helix is lined up properly. And as you can see, that guy did go ahead and open, and as soon as I let go of the clutch, you saw it twist back, which means the spring was pushing the helix back like it was supposed to be. The way I had, in order to get it lined up, you have to, when the spring and pins are lined up, the helix and the ear and the clutch is like this. So that's why you twist the clutch to get it to line up. And as soon as I let the clutch go, it twisted back like this. So as long as your spreader bolt will physically spread the clutch open, then that means your helix and everything is lined up properly. Go ahead and tighten your secondary bolt up. Now if you read the manual, factory specs on that bolt's 44 foot-pounds. In the past, I have seen these bolts back out, I've seen them stretch, I've seen them break, I've seen them do everything. My rule of thumb is a drop of red Loctite and beat on it until you know that it's not going to back out. There's really no way to hold that clutch still and put a torque wrench on it. When you put a torque wrench on it, the clutch is going to twist. There's no way to hold it still, so there's really no way to torque it properly without some special fancy tools that you can't afford and you can't get. So really and truly, just hit it with put a drop of red Loctite on it, hit it with an impact, and it's done. I've never had one back out. I've never had one break. But I have seen it happen on other folks who didn't put it together right. If you do the way I do, I've never had a problem, and I doubt you will either.